it was kind of a solitary existence for them during that period. Yeah. Even the lamb fillies that we get, we don't tend to bug because they're only here for such a short time.
Right. Woohoo! That's funny.
A number of people have asked me, what drew you to horses and horse racing? Well, it actually goes back to my teens when my parents used to go to the state fair, and I wasn't really into the rides, but I loved to go over and just hang out where the horses were warming up to go in for their jumping and their dressage show. So that was an early part of it. Then in the 70s, I met some friends who had horses, and they were involved in shows and jumping, and I used to go out to the barn and pet the horses and feed them hay. It was I loved being around the horses and horse people. So that was really step two. Then in 1978, a woman at the Great Sacandaga, where we rent a cabin, she came back from the races one day and asked me if I'd ever been to the races. I said no. She goes, well, you should do it at least once. So I did. We went in, we went to the races, and it turned out it was Affirmed and Alydar. Affirmed was a Triple Crown winner that year and was racing again against Alydar, his arch rival, who ran second in all of those races. The crowd was large, electric, and I guess you could say I was taken by that. We went from there to home, and when I got off the thruway, I had about 20 cents. As I followed horse racing, I found this one older gentleman to be quite captivating. When we went into the track in the morning, he'd be next to the rail, chatting with people, bragging about his horses, telling stories about what had happened to this horse or that horse or to him. And he was a tremendous ambassador for the sport of horse racing. That turned out to be Hall of Fame trainer Woody Stevens. I became so captivated with Woody that I wrote a song about him, and I sent it to him. One day I got home from teaching, my answering machine was blinking. I pressed the button, and I heard, "Hi, this is Woody Stevens, and I'm trying to reach Garry Manuel." Well, he didn't leave me a number to get back to him, but let me just say, I was really sparked from that phone call. Same year, we went to Saratoga. Mary and I went in one day to watch the horses work out, and some of his workers were coming through with one of his horses to enter the track. So I introduced myself, and I think it was Sandy Bruno said, "He loves your song. He listens to it every day in his Mercedes, and he'd love to meet you. Come on back." So they took us back, and Mary and I got to meet Woody Stevens, and that was such a thrill. And from that day on, I wanted to be part of the horse racing game more than just a bettor or one that shows up at the Traverse every year.
Double happiness!
I got involved in a racing partnership in 2019, and the first horse was Double Happiness, a beautiful chestnut filly. And what more could we want? Loving horses, double happiness. That meant I got the horse and I got Mary. And Mary is really incredible and having a horse named Double Happiness, it just seemed perfect. We loved going back and meeting the horse, and she loved being around the horse, and I took this wonderful picture of Mary with Double Happiness. And for Christmas, I had a woman in Saratoga digitally paint it, and we have that painting still hanging in our kitchen today. Curlin.
Curlin's wisdom.
So how does that work for you, going out to, each day somebody hire you to take the horse to the paddock?
Well, I've been here a long time, so I get work pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I like bringing the horses to the races. Get a lot of exercise. Unless you got a real naughty one, then it's not so much fun. But this one's like a pony to bring over.
There was another partnership I got involved with, a more elite partnership, but that allowed us to have some incredible seats and hang out with people who owned the favorite for the Breeders' Cup race. The horse was called Flightline, favored to win, and we got to go to Keeneland a couple years ago, and Flightline did run. It was very exciting, and it turned out we were right on the rail when they came around the final turn, and that's when Flightline poured it on, and he did win the Breeders' Cup race. By the way, we loved Lexington. A couple years before that, I got into a horse that has turned out to be just such a wonderful experience for Mary and our whole family, really. And I got involved with Zilla Racing Stables, and I got this photo of this horse, and it was going to auction, and they were thinking of bidding on it, and they did. And then they offered partnerships in the horse, and it wasn't exorbitant like many are today. So I got in, and I talked with my buddy Scott, told him as much as I could about racing partnerships, and told him not to expect much. So he jumped in too, and the horse was then named Jackson Heights. And Jackson started off really slow. He had some issues, and we wondered, when's he going to race? When's he going to, start racing, and when's he going to get healthy? Well, he got healthy, and he started racing, but Mary named him the Heart Attack Special, because when he breaks, he's like 10 to 20 lengths behind every single time. But he's such a gorgeous horse, and that's why I bought into him. He looks strong, sturdy, and he just kind of has a little authority that he wears when he runs or when you're around him. So if you wonder, why do I stick with horse racing? What is it that makes it exciting? Well, listen, I'm going to show you why we stay with it, and why it's so exciting, and why we love to go back to the barns, and why we love Jackson Heights. Here we go.
By race number 7, Jose Ortiz does not realize it's a gold rail today. His brother does, Flavian Pratt does, he doesn't.
And
at least the last race he didn't.
Yeah, and I would think after being taken down, Irad's going to be riding the hair off Dr. Kraft.
I agree. And he's a horse that can be forward as well.
Brad Ortiz disqualified in the 7th race after crossing the wire in front. His brother there, Jose Chichabella. Baldassar, trained by James Bond, I had forgotten how good that 97 Whitney was. I watched it earlier today with Will's Way and Formal Gold. Like instant classic.
A great
Great
race.
race.
Those were
Skip away chasing him.
What was the buyer figures? Do you remember? It was
25, 125 or 126. Yeah.
I mean, crazy, right?
Out of this world.
Ciccio Bello is a line of Italian dolls, by the way, if you didn't know.
Oh, I'm up on my Italian dolls,
You're
Richie.
the-
Who do you think you're talking to around here?
Horse racing and dolls.
Come on.
Richie,
Well,
your
he knows.
areas
He's a
of
big
expertise.
doll fan.
Well,
Foley,
you know,
big
grandkids
collection
now,
at home.
Yeah.
He seems like an antiques
At the gate.
roadshow guy.
That's right.
Yeah, I watched that show with my mom. It's a great show. Are you kidding me? Love that show.
Lucy watching?
Oh, we love Antiques Roadshow.
No, is she watching now?
No.
No?
No.
Disappointing.
Got stuff going on.
Frank Vermati with the call post time for the 8th, live from Saratoga on Fox Sports 2.
Baldassar to the outside. Going in. Set. And they're off. Ciccio Bello is going out for the early lead. Dr. Kraft is up close in the opening furlong. And on the outside, Barisi with the yellow cap moves up and is in the thick of it too. Also in the mix is Curlin's Wisdom in between rivals. Baldassar is 4 wide going on to the back stretch in the red, moving up to be a joint second. Then comes Shadow Dragon in behind this group with 6 lengths to make up, followed by 6% racing inside Brewpub and Cut the Cord at the back. 24 flat for Ciccio Bello, who will carve out the fractions, pursued by Baldassar toward the half-mile pole, with Barisi 2 off the pace in third. At the rail, Dr. Kraft still well within himself fourth. Another 2 lengths back comes Curlin's Wisdom. Then comes 6% in behind them as they move into the turn. Shadow Dragon splits that pair and starts to make progress through a half in 46 and 4. Brewpub is next. Jackson Heights toward the back of the field went by Cut the Cord. Ciccio Bello, Baldassar going at it. Dr. Kraft looming, hugging the rail, gets a little nudge, and will come through along the rail to challenge them now. Here's Dr. Kraft after those embattled leaders, and Shadow Dragon is fourth, gathering some momentum. Jackson Heights has surfaced from far, far back. He's making good headway on Dr. Kraft, who has a 2-length lead. Outside Shadow Dragon and Jackson Heights. Jackson Heights, Shadow Dragon. Jackson Heights, Shadow Dragon trying to get to Dr. Kraft. They inhale him late. It will be Jackson Heights, possibly. On the inside of Dr. Kraft. It's a close photo. And then behind them, Shadow Dragon third.
Thriller in the 8th at Saratoga. He who's closest to the rail wins this afternoon. Jackson Heights up the fence and picks off Dr. Kraft in the shadow of the wire.
I feel like I could do a half-hour dissertation on that race. The 1 cent early, don't know why Jose Ortiz was drifting off the rail, because Richie, he was coming back in mid-stretch, but he's out in the middle of the track. Irad got right to the fence. You saw it right away. We all saw it. Got the fence, came through on the inside, thought he had it won. He ends up drifting a little. I don't know why Irad's going left-handed, but he is. And there's old Jackson Heights and Dylan Davis looking like the rabbit at the dogs.
Who came from Jackson Heights. He was so far back, but
Far
he
back.
never left the fence. This was an absolutely sensational ride.
And here's
from
the
Dylan
thing is,
Davis.
he hit the stop button as soon as he hit the front, and Dr. Kraft saw him and almost came back on him. This is a critical error by Irad. He has to stay on the rail. You cannot let this happen. He thought he had this race won.
This party is officially out of the gate.
Barrel.